drives you? What inspires you? Let's ignite your why. Welcome back to Ignite Your Why podcast. I'm your host, Austin T. Gullett, and we're here to have genuine conversations with authentic people to help amplify their voice and figure out what ignites their why. Today's guest was born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. She's a graduate of Shawnee State University, where she obtained her bachelor's degree in athletic training, then went on to grad school at Bowling Green State University. She has spent the last 7 years working in high school athletics as an athletic trainer, and she is currently working as an athletic trainer at Miami University, Ohio. And I am so excited to have her on as a guest. So let's give a warm welcome to my friend, Samantha McGovern. Sam, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you, Austin?
You know, I'm good. I'm really feeling myself today because your boy got a haircut and it's looking fresh and clean. I FaceTimed my mama afterwards and she said, finally.
It was getting a little long.
Hey, and I was like, let me get a haircut on my own terms. I don't like when people tell me to just, your hair's getting long, you should get it cut. And I was like, today's the day. And you know what? It looks fresh. I'll give y'all a nice little look. No, but enough about me. Let's just get straight into this. So what is your story?
So like you said, I was born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. I had a good childhood. Nothing crazy. I grew up in a cul-de-sac, so it was a good close-knit neighborhood, a good family, extended family. Both my parents, are still together. I'm a bad daughter. I can't remember how many years they've been married, but like a lot, like 30 something plus, I think. So, but yeah, I was a soccer player my whole life, so I know we have that in common. And I wasn't the best, but I wasn't like terrible. But I'm a competitive person. So
that's all that matters.
I would say where I feel like, your childhood forms you, right? But I would say like, as far as my adulthood, I feel like my story really begins like when I was in high school and playing soccer. So like my junior year, that summer going into my junior year, I worked really hard with a trainer. I was at everything that I needed to be at with like soccer, like
conditioning
preseason and stuff.
Yeah.
I probably was at the best shape of my life, and like skill wise, I was probably in the best place. Second game of the season, I was slide tackled and someone tore my ACL for me. And so I thought that I've always wanted to do something like in my future to help people. And when I was a kid, I thought I wanted to be a teacher. And then I realized I didn't like school, so I didn't want to be in school the rest of my life. Or school, so I didn't like school enough. And so I was kind of, but I would I played school when I was little, so I was going to say that, and then I got excited. And then so around that, your junior year, you're going to be going to college soon or whatever you're going to do. And so I was trying to figure out what I had a passion for. And obviously it's been the same my whole life as far as wanting to help people. And so I was looking into social work, and then I tore my ACL. Right. So I was pretty much a hot mess. Like I was a roller coaster of emotions. I had never known anybody that tore their ACL before. Like I was not prepared for the situation. And no hate to my athletic trainer that I had in high school, because she's actually my boss's boss, but like I felt like she didn't give me the like mentally what was going to happen, like as far as like what I may experience. And so I really enjoyed my time with the PTs and the athletic trainers in the clinic when I was in recovery. And not like while I was doing rehab, but after the fact, I was like, they really encouraged me to want to get better. And my goal was whole through treatment, because it was my junior year that happened, to get to my senior year. Like, when you're underclassmen, you think about
100%.
Like, yep. I'm excited about like senior night, and that's really cool. So that was my goal. And like, I was inspired after the fact, I think, with the PTs and athletic trainers that I worked with. And so, then I decided, long story short, I decided to end up going to Shawnee State University. And I thought, I guess originally I thought I wanted to be a PTA, which is a physical therapy assistant. And I had applied, and I was this close to getting to the program, and I didn't get in. And I still remember where I was like sitting in the class. It was like an intro to physical therapy class. And my teacher was, explaining like the different professions that are like in the same, I lost my earbud, in the same world as athletic training, or like they might work together across paths or whatever. Sorry, these are my husband's, they're not mine. So, and I have weird ears. But I was like, I have ADD. I can't sit still. I do not imagine myself being in a job where I'm sitting at a desk. So learning more about the athletic training profession in that class, I was like, I can really see myself doing this. It's different every day. I'm working with athletes. The body is interesting. Like, I'm already interested in physical therapy world. Mm-hmm. And I had already applied for the PTA program like twice, and I was kind of on the cusp of getting in. And like, so I was like, let's try athletic training. So I think it was my junior year is when I entered the program. Fast forward. So like, I graduate. Like I said, I have ADD and like a learning comprehension disability. So like, it takes sometimes I have to read something, like if I'm reading like an article or whatever, I have to read something a couple times to like comprehend it. Yeah. And, so I took my boards that June, and I did not pass. So this is something that I don't really, I'm open. So like, I'll tell somebody this, but it's not something, this is the first time I've ever said this like this publicly. So I'm kind of not embarrassed, but kind of.
Hey, we have to fail in order to succeed. Yes, I think that's the biggest thing. And when I'm listening to your story, I'm just like, holy shit, like this is so similar to me. And like, when I think back to like my high school career, I actually tore my labrum the summer before my junior year. I was actually misdiagnosed for the longest time. So they told me I strained my rotator's cuff and biceps tendon, and I was going to therapy for 6 months. Mind you, 6 months. I went to therapy for 6 months, and it wasn't until like, I wouldn't say 6 months. I didn't have surgery until 6 months after. That's a long
time. Like usually it's like a couple weeks.
It was 3.
We don't see
it. It was 3.
Okay.
It was 3 months. Because I remember, because I tore it in June, and then I didn't get diagnosed until late October. For the correct diagnosis, I should say, because I was at basketball practice, and I would like leave, and like I couldn't feel my arm. Like it was just like dead. It was just like hanging there. And it just, when I think of that, I wanted to get back for senior year, which I did. I had to miss my entire baseball season my junior year. And it was kind of like you said, like you wanted to get back and like have that moment. And the whole time I was like, I want to be an athletic trainer. I want to be an athletic trainer. And then when I got to college, I had surgery on my ankle 4 days before the semester started. That's I actually ended up going to the ER day one because I was crutching around in KU and dehydrated and things of that nature. And I was just like, yeah, this is not for me. Anatomy and physiology, not for me. And like
It's
I was a
not for everybody.
sophomore. And like I was a sophomore
Yeah.
at that time, and I was just like, like this is just way too much for me. And I just changed my whole direction. So I totally understand. But I kind of want to bounce back to
Okay.
like your childhood a little bit. Because it's quite interesting to me, because I feel like when you talk to people from Cincinnati, there's so many different spectrums of what people go through and like what their experience is like growing up. And growing up in a cul-de-sac, that's pretty dope. I didn't have that. I feel like you could do so much in a cul-de-sac. You could have like many
kickball,
game nights.
like baseball. We would play capture the flag. We played Spud. Do you know what that is?
I'm not familiar.
It doesn't matter. Look it up. But I don't even know if you could find it on Google. But we had a lot of fun, and I honestly they're still some of the dearest people, because my parents have now, like a couple years ago, moved away. And so they're still some of the dearest people in my life. Like, we may not talk that often, but like I care deeply about them. Mm-hmm. And like our next door neighbors, like they're like I have had good grandparents. I only have one living. But like they were just another, like them that were next door, and then across the street, they were like another set of grandparents. So like it was really, really good place to grow up. So.
Hey, I think childhood friends are some of the best ones. And shout out to my neighbors. Uh-huh. When I was a kid, we had so many kids on our street. Like we had Nicole and Matt who lived behind us, and we would literally play kickball in our backyards, because like our backyards connected, mm-hmm. and there was a fence between us. But like we would literally just go back and forth between houses, and it was just the coolest thing. Mm-hmm. And now when I look at my parents' neighborhood, there are like no kids that live in that neighborhood now, and I'm just sad, like, this is so sad.
Does that make you feel old?
I am old, yeah.
I'm older than you. Please don't say that.
I think back to when like we were kids, and like I could not. I say this all the time. I really feel like I had this conversation the other day with someone. I would not survive in this generation. Period. Growing up with social media and TikTok and all of these social media platforms, I would not survive. Like, yes, social media was kind of a thing. Like we had MySpace, and then Facebook came around. Yeah. But it was not to the extent that it is now. And kids these days are so ruthless that I would not survive.
Literally, I was like, right before I got on here, I was looking at my Facebook, and I the years past or whatever. Mm-hmm. I was such a nerd. Like I was sitting there I grew up in the faith. Like I grew up in the Catholic Church, and but like I saw I was just posting like verses and stuff, and like nobody liked it. Like that was like, I don't know. I was just a weird church girl, but
hey,
I just,
ain't no shame.
It's funny.
No shame.
No, I know that, but I just mean like looking back on like what I would post, I'm like, oh lordy, like I was such a child.
Those memories on Facebook are scary, because you never know what's gonna pop up. I remember seeing a bunch of like my status for a truth is, like my status for a to be honest. Like
I don't think I ever really did that, but I know people that did. Yeah.
No, it's just crazy to me, because I just think back of like my childhood was amazing. Like I had to be in the house or in the backyard when the streetlights came on, or my ass was grass. And it's just crazy, because I remember when Instagram first became a thing, and we would all post overly filtered photos, and just it was so bad. Oh my gosh, the edits. Thank God times have changed.
Seriously, the orangeness of the color of our skin, like it was bad. It was bad.
I wish I had like a pop-up where I could just put like a picture, but I deleted all of them. So maybe I'll go search. I'll search for one, and if I find one, I'll put a pop-up. So like if you're on YouTube, you'll see it. But oh my gosh, those were the days, man. Those were the days.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. We're old. It's okay.
Yeah. All right.
So I kind of want to.
I'm starting to get more and more gray hair. I'm trying to accept it. So like,
I had one in my beard. I had a gray hair in my beard, and I was like, "It's these soccer kids. I swear it is. It's these. They're just so frustrating."
I didn't start getting gray hair until COVID. So
love COVID.
Love
Good
it.
old COVID. Anyways, I kind of want to go into this next segment here. It's kind of like the chunk of the entire podcast. So my question for you is just, what is it that truly inspires you? But more importantly, what is it that ignites your why?
Hold on. I didn't finish my story.
It's okay.
Can we go back? Okay, whatever. Okay. So what ignites my why? I was like, wait a second. I was on the train of thought and you changed it. Okay.
It's all good. We move forward.
Okay. We did. Okay. Who cares about that? I didn't get to tell my embarrassing story. So I would say, definitely, like I said before, like helping people. And in my way of that, I try to do that is like through the patients that I see and the athletes that I see. Now, like, it's definitely evolved because I've worked in a couple of different high school settings, and I went from working at a private school that cost $20,000 to go there a year. Then I went to a public school that was pretty small and didn't have a lot of money, to then working at a private school, an all girls Catholic school here in Cincinnati. And then from that was a contract thing. Won't get into that. And then, with the school, not me. No, it wasn't me. It was the school, money, business. It's a whole side of things I never knew about before then. But, then when COVID hit, I worked at the COVID clinics, which was traumatizing in itself. And then I just finished working at Taft for 3 years, which was an intercity school. You know that. And so, I think it's changed a little bit as I've evolved, and also, or as I've gotten older, and like the demographic and the type, it's kind of like I've really cared about, at their all girls school. We'll start there. I really loved like pouring into these young girls because I'm like, I know what it was like to be a young teenage girl with hormones that are all over the place. And to not feel good enough, and to not feel pretty enough or skinny enough, all these things. And so I really felt like I was trying to pour into them in that way. Now I still feel like I try to do that, and I did at Taft. But it was also a different, demographic where I felt like I was like a second mom to a lot of them. And they've told me that before. Like I would, I had snacks always. I would have PB&J sandwiches occasionally. And I don't know. So what ignites my why? So you have to sometimes keep me on track.
No, you're good.
I think it really is pouring into people. My faith is really strong, or because it's really important to me. And so I really have enjoyed in the past year. My husband and I go to this church called Sacred Mission. It's in Mason, Ohio. And I've really enjoyed volunteering on their hospitality team. And I feel like this is only the beginning with our church, like in my church involvement. We're trying to become members, but every time they have a membership class, we have something going on. Like we have one coming up, and we're getting a puppy that weekend, so we can't do it. So we're trying, but we're really excited to continue to flourish and help.
Hey, when the time is right, the time is right.
Show the Lord's love and gospel and spread it, and we try to do that with our actions and stuff. But one of my passion is my work a lot. And I felt like when I was drawn to the Taft position, because there was a couple of different positions open at the time, I really felt the Lord pulling at me to show him his love, show the kids God's love, so, and I'm pretty I'm pretty much a nerd about athletic training stuff. So that's, I can, so What was I gonna say? I don't know. I feel like I'm getting all off track. You keep me in line, Austin.
No, you're good. And I think
does that answer your question or no?
It does. And I think it's just interesting because when I've worked in an inner city school.
Oh no, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Happening? No.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? Something? Let me see.
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, son of a biscuit.
No.
Oh, no. Did these die? Shoot. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I don't know what's happening.
Me either. What the heck?
Can you say something?
Can you hear me?
Oh, dang it, I can't hear you. I see your lips moving.
I'm talking, that's for sure. Like nothing's changed on my end.
I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me now? Can I hear you?
I can hear you. I can hear you the whole time. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. I see your mouth moving, but I can't hear you. Shoot.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Nothing. I don't got nothing. I don't know if these died. These aren't mine. Oh, wait.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Yeah. How did that happen? What? I don't even know what happened.
I don't either. I'm just sitting here like nothing's changed for me. Like I can hear you.
I didn't do anything.
Fine. I'm just like I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you? I
can see you.
I felt like the Verizon commercial where he's walking like, "Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?" No, but what I was no, but what I was saying is I totally understand where you're coming from, and I feel like working in an inner city school takes a very, very special person because I remember growing up working in the summer program as a 16-year-old and having second and third graders calling me dad, and I was just like, this is kind of weird. But for them, it was just like I was a male figure and I was a male role model for them, that's someone they could kind of look up to, and it's weird when you look at it that way. So my question kind of for you is kind of, I want to learn, I want to know more. That's my thing. I'm going to ask those questions.
Yeah.
So going from an all Catholic school, which is all girls, to an inner city school where it's completely different, like the demographics are completely different. How did you adjust to that? Like, were you shocked by the culture, and what was it like for you? I'm just curious.
So I kind of was like hit in the face. Yeah. You know, like it's a 180, like it's totally different. These girls have all this money, their parents have money, and they have nicer cars than me. And like, you know, they're going to like big schools. And then these kids have, like at Taft, like have nothing, like not a lot of things. Some of them still have nice stuff, but like they're for kids that one parent was in jail, one parent's not in their life, or you know, it was hard. And like, you know, I didn't grow up in like a super nice I mean, it wasn't terrible. It's probably worse off now, but like I would say my high school that I went to was pretty diverse. So like where I went to college was not diverse, and like it became more diverse as I was there. But like I felt like I was fine to handle like, you know, the diversity. I mean, my parents raised me to love everyone and to treat everyone like as God's child, and, you know, children. And, so I didn't really have a problem in that aspect. I knew that like, I felt God was pulling me there to love on them. But it was just crazy. Like parent involvement is less. It was really something. My first year was really tough because we were in COVID. It was still 2020. It was so tough to get parents to, like, if the kid needed to go to the doctor, you know, some parents didn't have a car, so they would use the bus, or they'd have to walk, or, you know, they didn't want to take their kid to the doctor because of
going to the doctor is not cheap. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, it's not.
I
It's
just
not. But
went the other day and my copay was $30. I was like,
yeah,
you have got to be kidding me. This makes me not want to come to the doctor.
yeah, and like, and well, that's a whole nother conversation. Is our healthcare system is nuts, but yeah, that's a whole nother. Yeah, so well, can't be distracted on that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
ADHD.
So like, yeah. But you know, from like just the parents that hover to like no parent involvement at all was really tough. And it was just really hard and to like learn, but my second year was better. But yeah. So
I will say this.
It's hard to
hold on. Let me say this real quick. I feel like working in the inner city, a lot of the times, especially with new people, their kids are going to test you, right? Because they're so used to just people kind of just filtering in and out of their life, coming and going.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's just, I feel year one is always the hardest. They're going to test you. Year two, it's still hard because now you're like getting used to it. You're kind of figuring out. And I think year three is the year when you're just like, okay, like this is smooth sailing. Like things are like policies are in place. People know who I am. I'm a familiar face with them, and you're building those relationships as you're going. So give yourself some grace. And I think that's the biggest thing is just when you go through processes and you're in different environments that you're not necessarily used to, working in an inner city is hard. And I can say that, but it is so rewarding. And I think that's the biggest thing.
And I think like the, you started to say it and then I thought, okay. Like it took a while for them to trust me. And also like we had like policies in the training room where you had to have a mask on. We could only have like 2 or 3 people in a smaller space. And like, so it made things more complicated not only starting in the inner city, but like with COVID and like being a new person. And so like, it was a lot to like, we all were adjusting and it was tough.
Oh, I can't even imagine working in COVID and working in healthcare. I give all the healthcare providers so much props because that was a beast to handle. And I can only imagine what life was like working in a school at that time. I couldn't imagine. I just remember like I was so thankful that I finished my graduate school before COVID hit, but I was pissed at the same time because I didn't get to walk at graduation. So,
oh yeah, you're
thanks,
right.
COVID. No, but I think
didn't get to either.
I was so upset. I was like, "This is my master's degree. I'm getting hooded." Like, but it is what it is. Everything happens in life for a reason, and
it does.
You just gotta roll with the punches and go with it.
It does.
So I want to go to my favorite segment here of the entire podcast because you know me, I'm a huge mental health advocate and I try to make things as transparent and authentic as possible on this podcast and in every conversation that I have. So my question for you is just, how have you been taking care of yourself mentally?
That's, I feel like a loaded question for me because in the past year has been really tough. So I got married last June, like 2022.
He liked it, so we put a ring on it.
Which was great and wonderful. And then I honestly, it was September of last year. Things were kind of rough with work. I won't get into that because I don't know who listens to this and I'm not, but and there was a couple other factors, but that was the biggest one. There was a toxic work environment and didn't involve kids. It was other adults, but like, I didn't want to go to work. And like anyone who knows me, like even before I was an athletic trainer, I was like super nerd out about my job and like what I wanted to do. And, I didn't want to go to work. And like, I was pretty depressed, honestly. And I didn't probably acknowledge that until like January. So it was a while. I didn't accept it until then, I guess.
Mhm.
But like I would sleep in till I didn't have to go into work till like 2:30. I would sleep in or like be in bed till like 11 or noon. And I would even be like, now that I'm not there anymore, I can say this, I guess. I would be like almost to getting there to like right when the kids would get out of school. I was not a good employee. I didn't feel like a good athletic trainer. I was the lack of respect and stuff was made me question myself. Double. So like, it was just a rough time. And then I finally worked. I had an appointment with my primary care doc, and we got me on a low dose of like an antidepressant. And I only really started feeling like myself probably the past couple of months. So it's been, honestly, it was like a year of like not being me, not being my passionate self. And it's sad because like it was our first year of marriage, and it was kind of rough. It wasn't rough for us to get like the two of us, but it was really mentally rough for me. And then on top of that, my best friend and my husband's best friend were diagnosed with cancer at the beginning of this year, this 2023. And then my cousin as well at a very young age, like 30 and below. And that didn't help when I was trying to like pull myself out of a depression that had been happening for like 4 months or something. So it took a while to like more feel like I'm like motivated and stuff. But I would really say, what was the question? Where am I mentally right now?
How do you take care of yourself mentally?
Oh, how do I take care of myself? Okay. Taking my meds, number one, making sure I'm getting good sleep. And it's hard. Sometimes this goes back to like this habit kind of happened like during that depression. Is like, I wouldn't eat. And so like, I'm trying to like be better about eating and taking care of my body. I am not doing such a great job right now of my fitness, but I'm working on it. We're getting there. But like, that's all part of it. So, and sticking to like, we have a small group with our church and actually going, because now that I can go, because now that I work at the college level, my schedule's a little different, and we only have games on the weekends. So I'm able to, we've kind of moved my schedule around so that I can go to a small group, because we've been a part of this church I've been a part of it for like 2.5 years, and I wasn't really able to go to our group because of my work. So that has been pretty helpful. Being a part of a group of small group of ladies, that we keep each other accountable and pray for each other. And so that's been a big piece too. But it's a process. I'm a work in progress right now. So
I feel like we're always a work in progress. We are.
But I feel like the thing is too, like I was single a really long time. I really didn't date a lot when I was younger. And then I met my husband during COVID, and then, which was a different time, we were figuring things out then. And so I'm really kind of refiguring out who I am, especially like I am really happy at my new job. It was really hard to leave the kids at Taft, and I still miss them every day. But shout out to my kids at Taft. Love you guys. And I'll see you on Thursday. That's senior night. But
when this episode comes out. Hey.
Yeah. So I'm really happy with where things are going with myself, I guess. We're getting a puppy, so that's helping too. I'm really excited about that. That has really lifted my spirits a lot. I know that sounds silly, but I'm a dog person, and
emotional support animals are a thing. They definitely.
I thought about registering her for that, so we'll see. But
you should. Hey, I'm telling you, it's worth it. And I think the biggest thing for me is just like, I'm proud of you, because I think just hearing you talk and understanding your journey over the last year is truly inspiring, because you did one thing that a lot of people don't do, and that's put yourself first. right?
Mm-hmm.
You decided
that's
to
my
say
job,
like,
is to put everyone else before me.
I
Like, so that's
know.
hard for
And
me.
it's hard, especially like when you're in a profession of like, I'm a helping person. I want to help, and I want to do this and I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
We sometimes lose the sight of ourselves,
Yeah,
and that's the
very much
hardest thing. So when yes, it's easy to suppress our feelings. And I think
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to dig deep and find the root of the problem. And when you lost your passion for your work, you know something's not right.
Yeah.
So for you to recognize that and find a way to get out of it, is amazing, because it takes a lot of strength to
Mm-hmm.
understand your emotions, but also to verbalize those emotions, and
Yeah.
to know that you're in a place now where you're enjoying your work again, and
Mm-hmm.
that passion is still there, because I feel like there's a lot of burnout when it comes to athletic training because of
I
the
was
rigorous
so burned out.
hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the rigorous hours and the amount of work that
Yeah.
people put in for athletic training, which, by the way, athletic trainers deserve so much more money than what they get now with
That's a
all
whole
the
other
stuff that they
podcast
do.
episode, right?
For real, though.
Along with the healthcare.
But I think it's important that you're finally taking the time to put Sam first. And I think that's not only going to help you in life, but help your
Mm-hmm.
relationship with your husband, help your relationship with God, and really focus on
Mm-hmm.
what really matters the most in life, and
Yeah.
that's ourselves. And the only way we can be happy, for other people, and like make other people happy, is if we're making ourselves
Mm-hmm.
happy. So it all starts
Yeah.
from within, and I think you're taking the right steps. And I'm glad you
Mm-hmm.
have this group of women at your church that you feel comfortable to talk to, because
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the biggest thing, is when you have the opportunity to talk to others and other people can relate to you or simply just hear you out, it goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I'm just seriously, like, I'm so proud of you. And just
Thank
from
you.
the last 2 months, just you can see like the happiness in you, and you can see like you're glowing and like you're enjoying
I
life.
did put on makeup today.
But you seem less,
yeah.
like, you seem less stressed. Like there isn't like
Mm-hmm.
a weight on your shoulders that you feel like you have to carry, and you're not putting
There
on this
definitely
fake
was for a while.
a fake facade to make sure that like you're pretending that everything's okay, but in reality it wasn't. So now
Mm-hmm.
that you're out and you're doing what you love again and you're enjoying it, like, you can see it in your life every single day. And I
Yeah.
just see it just talking to you and having conversations
Mm-hmm.
with you. So I'm excited for you, and I'm excited for the
Thank
journey
you.
that lies ahead for you at Miami, and they're super lucky to have you. So I'm just proud
Thank
of you.
you. Thank you. I'm proud
Of
of you.
course. Thank you.
Yeah. And I feel like, back to the mental health thing, I think, I forgot to mention this earlier, like, athlete trainers wear many hats, right? Where we help the athletes get better, right? Physically, but it's also a mental thing too. And I think I was listening to an episode or whatever, you talked about your on your podcast today about, not like the stigma and like being okay, like, say it's okay to like talk about it. And so like, but the big part about what I'm trying to do, and because I feel like for a while I wasn't able to do this, and to the best of my ability, I should say. Like now I'm getting all tongue tied. I'm getting all excited. My brain's working fast in my mouth. Like, I think it's really exciting to get to work with the college demographic now, that like, and talk about like mental health, because I feel like in college is such a crazy time in your life, and it's stressful. And like, so like, I find myself like asking like, how, like, especially the freshmen, I've been asking like, how is it, like, you are in a new setting, like, how has your semester been going? And like, so it's been cool to like, it's been weird also, because I worked with high schoolers for so long that it's like, now I'm talking to college level students in their different phases of life. But I definitely, mental health does matter, and I'm excited to continue like digging deeper, I guess.
As you
with people and
should.
stuff.
And I think that goes a long way. I think the biggest thing is just asking how they're doing shows them, A, you care, and that someone is there for them. Because college is a beast. I will say, like, you find yourself in college a lot, and or just after high school in general, because life is completely different after high school, and you're gonna have your ups, you're gonna have your downs, but having a support system and having someone who checks in on you does go a long way, because you like I tell people all the time, you never know what someone is experiencing, so why not be kind? It doesn't take much to be kind, and just simply saying hello or checking in and asking how someone's doing could honestly be the highlight of their day. So keep doing what you're doing, Sam. You're changing lives every single day. I mean it. Like, I'm trying. And I think where you're at now, like you said, like, I feel God put you in this position for a reason, and it's the right season, because not only have you experienced the struggle, but you're also figuring it out, which gives you a different perspective on how you can help your student athletes, not just medically and making sure that they're safe on the playing field, but making sure they're safe and healthy mentally as well. And I think they could go hand in hand. So I'm proud of you. Like I said it before, like, I'm so proud of you, and I can see the growth, and the sky's the limit for you. So keep doing what you're doing, girl.
Thank you.
Of course. I want to say thank you for just taking the time out of your day. I know this was super last minute that we scheduled this, so I do appreciate it. I know schedules can be super crazy, so thank you for hopping on, chopping it up with me. It's been fun. So if anyone wants to continue having a conversation with you about anything that we've talked about today, what would be the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Probably Instagram. I'm terrible at emails, and I'm also terrible at responding to messages, but I will make sure that I'm trying to be better. So Instagram probably, and I don't remember what my handle is. I'll have to send it to you. You can put it in the bottom notes. I'm old. Okay.
I'm dead. Thank you, though.
It's late. Okay.
I know. No, I just wanted to say thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to put all of Sam's information in the description below. If you all happen to reach out to her, please just make sure you notate on how you found her. I'm sure she will greatly appreciate it. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you give us a follow on all social media platforms. It's at Ignite Your Why. That's INGYTE. We're on every streaming platform. So it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. We're on every social media platform there is. So make sure you give us a follow. Again, thank you all for tuning in. And always remember, find your purpose, ignite your why, and I'll holler at you later. Peace.